The House will come to order. Members, please register. Have all members registered? A quorum is present. The House and Gallery will please rise for the invocation, which will be offered by Reverend Joshua Pryor from New Birth Missionary Baptist in Dallas, sponsored by the Honorable Vaughn Davis of Dallas County.
Amen. Would everyone please bow their heads? Heavenly Father, we come before you today, asking your forgiveness and seeking your guidance and direction for our lives. We thank you for these men and women elected by the people and ordained by you to lead and govern this great state of Texas. Grant them your wisdom and as they establish legislation and govern your people. Lord, make them good stewards over the finances that you have generated through the tax dollars of your people. Move on their hearts to adhere to your wisdom and guidance when considering and ruling matters regarding the moral and academic education of our children, the care of the elderly and mentally challenged, the sanctity of life, the sanctity of marriage, the incarcerated and the criminal justice system, employment and labor issues, the environment and natural resources, the legal system, because, Lord, you establish kings and kingdoms, and you have so ordained and entrusted to these men and women a monumental task. So please equip them for the task and keep them mindful of all of the call that you have placed on their lives, and may every decision made guide and direct us to the center of your will. Give us, the people, a spirit of submission to honor and respect the powers that you have established. And may we pray continuously and mightily for the leadership and direction of this great state of Texas. I ask it in the name of your Son, Jesus Christ, by the power of your sweet Holy Spirit. Let everyone say, amen.
The chair recognizes the Honorable Trey Warden of Walker County to lead us in the pledges of allegiance to the United States and Texas flags.
Mr. Speaker, members, and guests in the gallery, please join me in reciting the pledges. I pledge allegiance to the flag of the United States of America, to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all. And now the Texas flag.
The chair is pleased to recognize Dr. Chenna Jones Conley from Missouri City as the Doctor of the Day. Members, join me in welcoming our Doctor of the Day.
Mr. Speaker,
Mr. Doorkeeper,
Mr. Speaker, I have a messenger from the Senate at the door of the House.
admit the messenger.
Thank you, Mr. Speaker. I am directed by the Senate to inform the House that the Senate has taken the following action. The Senate has passed the following measures.
Mr. Guerin moves to defer the reading and referral of bills until the end of today's business. Is there any objection? Chair hears none, and it's so ordered. Recognize Mr. Hunter for a motion.
Thank you, Mr. Speaker. I move that the House grant permission for all committees and subcommittees to meet while the House is in session pursuant to their committee postings or recess motions. For purposes of this motion, committees and subcommittees scheduled to meet or reconvene today upon final adjournment or recess or during bill referral if permission is granted are authorized to convene upon adoption by the House of today's adjournment motion.
Members, you've heard the motion. Is there any objection? Chair hears none. The motion is adopted. All right, members, please join me in wishing our colleague Matt Morgan a very happy birthday. Today is his birthday. Take their seats for you. Members, we have a memorial resolution. Please take your seats. All right, the chair recognizes Representative Dean for a memorial recognition.
Thank you, Speaker. Members, it's a great honor today to bring forward a resolution in memory of a very good friend, both myself and my good friend Chairman Hefner, Mr. Tracy Vincent from the big city of Longview, Texas. He was former Republican Party chair there for many years at a very difficult time when a lot of the local good common sense Republicans were leaving the party and worked very diligently daily to rebuild the party. Tracy Vincent was a kind of individual that no matter, well, let me back up, and I hope I'm doing it in the correct English language, but however, he did not know the word no. And we all know friends like that. They never say no to anything to help better improve his community. Worked very hard with the broadband issues, was a very, very technically oriented, hands-on kind of person. And I would say in East Texas, with the broadband issues, he had as much to do with pushing for and moving the technology to a whole different level that we had not seen before. Today, his wife, Donna, is here with us. Tracy was a proud father of 7 children: Brandy, Justin, Melissa, Christopher, Melissa Stephanie, and Corbin. He also had 15 grandchildren. Wow, I didn't know he had that many. And a great-grandchild. So it's my honor and my pleasure to remind you of just a wonderful guy that just did not understand the word no, and he literally worked himself, I'm not to death, but literally he worked himself to death just all the time. I'll ask Representative Hefner.
Chair recognizes Representative Heffer.
Thank you, Mr. Speaker. Members, Tracy's somebody that I knew for, I don't know, probably 15 years. And what Jay says is right. He was always on point, always ready to work. Didn't care who got the limelight. He worked hard to be influential in shaping public policy in our state, and was just very service-oriented and just a good, solid Texan. And we miss him. We need more people like him involved in our process, in our communities, and so it's a huge loss to the East Texas community. And I was honored to know him and call him a friend, and look forward to trying to live out his example. Thank you.
I'd like to ask for the family. I believe the family is here with us today. Oh, there they are. Stand up there. Thank y'all so much for being here. Members, I'd like to ask you for a moment of silence.
Members, please rise and join us in a moment of silence. Thank you. The chair recognizes Mr. Moody for a motion. 500.
Thank you, Mr. Speaker and members. I move to suspend all necessary rules to take up and consider House Resolution 500.
All right, you've heard the motion. Is there any objection? The chair hears none. The rules are suspended. Following resolution, the clerk will read the resolution.
H.R. number 500 by Moody, recognizing March 21st, 2025 as World Down Syndrome Day at the state capitol.
The chair recognizes Mr. Moody to explain the resolution.
Thank you, Mr. Speaker and members. I'm very, very proud to be standing here for World Down Syndrome Day at the Capitol. About 1 in 700 babies born in the United States have Down syndrome. My older sister, Melissa, is one of those people. There was a time when that diagnosis meant a life in the shadows of our society. I'll never forget her experience in school growing up. They segregated her into a special class, and when they ate lunch, they were literally hidden away from the other kids behind a curtain. The expectation was that the lives these kids would lead were lives of being neither seen nor heard, lives of not doing anything or being anything meaningful. I hope that seems obviously wrong to everyone here, and it was. Melissa, like so many other people with Down syndrome, has lived an incredible life of achievement and visibility. She's held jobs, she's been an advocate, and repeatedly defied expectations about who she could be. That's the kind of story many people like Melissa share. And I tell it today because there's been a lot of discussion about the idea of inclusion lately. I'm here to tell you that Melissa's story is what inclusion means to me. It's about humanity and opportunity. I've seen firsthand the difference that inclusion can make. So when you hear inclusion, remember that it's this what you see here today. And I don't want us to take a step back from that. That's so important because these are such amazing people, and they're what World Down Syndrome Day is all about. Now, I want to recognize some of the tremendous self-advocates here with us, including my big sister, Melissa Moody from El Paso. We also have Lauren Fairchild from Roanoke. And that sharp-dressed man you see up there is Ryan Walsh from Plano. I also want to recognize the various groups from around the state that are joining us. If y'all want to stand up in the gallery, we have the Down Syndrome Association of Central Texas, the Down Syndrome Association of Houston, the Down Syndrome Association of South Texas, the Down Syndrome Guild of Dallas, the Down Syndrome Partnership of North Texas, the El Paso Community Foundation, Gigi's Playhouse of El Paso, Gigi's Playhouse of Sugarland, the Rio Grande Valley Down Syndrome Association, and the Arc of Greater Beaumont. Members, please join me in celebrating World Down Syndrome Day and the wonderful people it's brought here to their capital. I move adoption.
Chair recognizes Representative Raymond.
Thank you, Mr. Speaker, and thank you, Speaker Moody, for bringing this forward. I've been here a long time, and I never saw the opportunity until this moment to invoke my uncle, Tavo Sainz's name. Ryan, my deskmate Ryan Guillen, my tío Tavo lived in Rio Grande. My grandmother, Eulalia Sainz Peña's youngest brother, there were several siblings, but he was the youngest brother, and he had Down syndrome. So since I was a little kid, I grew up around my Tío Tavo, who was a wonderful, wonderful person. We learned so much from him. He lived with two of my aunts. And so as I grew up and started, left Benavides where I grew up and started seeing more folks who had Down syndrome and understand that there were many folks who don't understand and don't embrace the Down syndrome community, I knew they were wrong. And so moments like this, bringing attention like this and measures like this and recognitions like this is very important. And I want to thank the speaker for doing that. Speaker Moody, thank you.
Chair recognizes Representative Rosenthal.
Thank you, Mr. Speaker, and thank you, members, for standing for this. And in the gallery, it's so important for us to recognize. So first, I want to point out Down Syndrome Association of Houston, Mike, Roberts, and Alantha. Thank you for being here today and visiting with us. What I want to say about these folks is they're not looking for pity or a handout. They just want to engage and experience life like the rest of us. They want to be contributing members of society. They want to be self-sufficient. They want to do on their own. And I just want to take a second to have all of you, my colleagues, recognize that there is so much more that we can do to help them from this body. Texas is one of the lowest funding totals or per person in the country for IDD causes and care. And so please take it on your hearts to help these folks just contribute to society and live with the decency and dignity they deserve. So thank you, Mr. Speaker, and thank you, Joe Moody, for bringing the resolution. I appreciate it.
The question occurs in the adoption of the resolution. Is there any objection? The chair hears none. The resolution is adopted. Representative Patterson moves to add all members' names to the resolution. Is there objection? Chair hears none. So ordered. The chair lays out the following previously adopted resolution. The clerk will read the caption.
H.R. 67 by Lozano, recognizing March 19, 2025 as San Patricio County Day at the state capitol.
Chair recognizes Mr. Lozano to explain the resolution.
Thank you, Mr. Speaker. Members, I move to suspend unnecessary rules, take up and consider House Resolution 67. Thank you, Mr. Speaker. Speaker, members, would ask you to please join me in welcoming constituents from San Patricio County on the dais today. We have San Patricio County Commissioner William Zagorski, County Commissioner Tom Yardley, County Commissioner Ruben Gonzalez, County Judge David Krebs, and the City of Portland Councilman Troy Bethel. Members in the gallery, we have San Patricio County Attorney Tamara Cochran-May, City of Ingleside on the Bay Mayor Joe Ann Elman, City of Ingleside on the Bay Mayor Pro Tem Ann Nyberg, Mayor Kathy Scarrow of Portland, Mayor Sir Rial of Mathis, Pedro Adame, Mayor of Ingleside. Members, and we have many other folks from San Patricio County. Members, San Patricio County is a jewel along the Texas coast. It's got investments from Steel Dynamics, a $1.9 billion steel factory in Sinton with 600 permanent jobs. Cheniere Energy, which is feeding the world with natural gas in a $14.5 billion investment. There are $1.5 billion, $2.5 billion, and $4 billion projects currently ongoing in San Patricio County, and it's only going to continue to grow. It is a beacon of hope for the state of Texas in terms of economic development. It's a beautiful part of the coast. And members, I would ask you, San Patricio County, thank you for being here. Members, please join me in welcoming San Patricio County to their Texas capital.
Go San Pat!
Yeah.
Chair recognizes Mr. Munoz for a motion.
Thank you, Mr. Speaker and members. I move to suspend unnecessary rules to take up and consider H.R. 529.
All right, you've heard the motion. Is there any objection? Chair is none. The rules are suspended. Following resolution, the clerk will read the resolution.
H.R. number 529 by Munoz, recognizing March 19th, 2025 as Palm View Day at the state capitol.
Hold on a second. Members, please take your conversations outside the rail. Chair recognizes Mr. Munoz to explain the resolution.
Thank you, Mr. Speaker and members. Today we're celebrating the City of Palmview Day here at the Capitol. The City of Palmview is located in southern Hidalgo County. In 1972, a group of local residents led a drive to create this community, and their efforts have resulted in the establishment of the City of Palmview. In the years since, Palmview has experienced significant growth and is now home to over 15,000 residents. The community is situated between the busy retail areas of central Hidalgo County and the slower pace yet growing Stark County to the west. The City of Palmview has experienced a wide range of new business opportunities, and the city's municipal development district is working with entrepreneurs to spur further economic activity. The city officials are devoted to enhancing services to benefit the city's growing population, and to that end have worked in cooperation with many state agencies like the Texas Water Development Board and the U.S. Department of Housing and Urban Development to pursue many infrastructure projects. It's home to many citizens and a city government that is proud of its heritage and hard work and its independence, and as it continues to prepare for a dynamic and prosperous future. And I have had the opportunity to work with them over the years and work with the city and make sure that we work to enhance and improve the quality of life and bring economic prosperity and opportunity to the city. Please help me welcome the City of Palmview to your state capitol. On the dais, we have our special guests. We have Mayor Pro Tem Benito Hernandez, Council Member Javier Ramirez, Council Member Cesar Peña Jr., Council Member Alexandra Flores, and City Manager Michael Leo. Also in the gallery, we have our Chief of Police, Mr. Jose Trevino, our Fire Chief Jerry Alaniz, and also Irma Garza that are joining us. Please give them a round of applause. Oh, okay, there we go. I move adoption. Yeah, I move adoption.
The question occurs in the adoption of the resolution. Is there any objection? Chair hears none. The resolution is adopted. The chair recognizes Ms. Davis of Dallas for a recognition.
Thank you. Mr. Speaker and members, I'd ask you to take a moment to join me in recognizing Leadership Southwest. Leadership Southwest is a cooperative effort from Cedar Hill, DeSoto, Duncanville, Inland Port Chambers of Commerce, the cities of Glen Heights and Lancaster, Box Springs as well. So they were founded in 1985. If you would stand up, Leadership Southwest. Thank you so much for being here. Leadership Southwest's mission is to connect people and prepare them as leaders to shape the future of Southwest Dallas County. We have more than 135 individuals joining us today. They do this by giving civic-minded people a vehicle for their involvement and improvement in the community that they live in. Welcome to your state capital. I know you'll be making visits as well as having speakers come before you. Thank you so much for engaging in this process. On the dais, I have some of the leaders of Best Southwest. I have Best Southwest Chair Mayor Carrie Gordon from the city of Box Springs. If you'll just wave so they can see you. Best Southwest Chair-elect Mayor Clyde Harrison from Lancaster. Mayor Steve Mason from Cedar Hill, Texas. And Leadership Southwest Executive Director Amanda Skinner. If you'll join me, members, in recognizing our leaders from Best Southwest.
Chair recognizes Ms. Rose.
Thank you, Mr. Speaker. Since being elected, I've had the honor of representing the city of Box Springs, so I'm so honored to have Mayor Carrie Gordon here today, as well as all of the other citizens that are here from Box Springs. Welcome to your state capital.
Chair recognizes Mr. Cortez for a recognition.
Thank you, Mr. Speaker. Members, we're honored today to have one of our former colleagues here in the chamber, United States Congressman Joaquin Castro. Congressman Castro, he's right over here with some members of the Bear delegation and other members, House members. Congressman, welcome back to the state capitol. I know you served many years here as a House member, and we're happy to have you back, and thank you for fighting for our families there in Washington, D.C. It's always wonderful to see you. Welcome back to the Texas House. Congressman Castro, members. Thank you, Speaker.
Chair recognizes Ms. Schaffner for recognition.
Thank you, Speaker. Today we have our wonderful Rusk County here in the Texas House. I would like to recognize these incredible people. Rusk County Judge Joel Hale and his wife Barbara, Bonnie Goody of Henderson Chamber of Commerce, John Cloutier, Michael Marshall, and Raven Marshall of Rusk County Rural Rail District. So important that we get our rail back into Texas. Thank you all so much for coming. And thank you for the people of Rusk County. Thank you and welcome to your state capitol. Please stand and be recognized.
Chair recognizes Mr. Leach for a recognition.
Thank you, Mr. Speaker. Members, good morning. It is my privilege to honor the North Texas Warrior Golf Association. As the self-appointed golf professional of the Texas House, actually that's probably better reserved for you, Representative. In November 2024, the United States Veterans Affairs Department released a report that showed, after accounting for age difference, the veteran suicide rate in Texas was significantly higher than the national veteran suicide rate and was significantly higher than the national general population suicide rate. We're all well aware of this problem and this epidemic. That's why it's so important that we highlight the organizations in our great state that are working every day to help our nation's veterans, our heroes, before they become part of that horrible statistic. The North Texas Warrior Golf Association was founded as part of a high school graduation project in 2011 by a father and son who read about a veteran golf program in the Washington, D.C. area that was helping combat wounded veterans from Iraq and Afghanistan start playing the game of golf. They started a small veteran golf tournament in DFW and sent that money up to Washington, D.C. to help returning veterans. Since then, this group has grown to an all-veteran board of directors and volunteers with a focus on disabled veterans, helping disabled veterans right here in the state of Texas. They transformed to more than just a golf organization, but a true mental health wellness organization that provides CART therapy to help transition combat wounded veterans into civilian life. Over the 14 years since its foundation in 2011, the North Texas Warrior Golf Association has changed the lives and impacted the lives of hundreds, if not thousands, of veterans. They've provided thousands of rounds of golf for free to returning veterans, but more importantly, they've provided more than 10,000 hours of peer-to-peer counseling for combat disabled military veterans. Often, those times of counseling happen on the golf course itself. Their program provides peer-to-peer therapy, mentorship, career networking, and family unit bonding to create healthy veterans inside and out. And the greatest number that I can report is 0 suicides from individuals who the North Texas Warrior Golf Association has serviced, and in an age where the veteran suicide rate is more than 17 a day, still to this day, 17 a day. In the 14 years, the North Texas Warrior Golf Association has had 0 members become a part of that statute. On the dais today, we have 3 founding members of the All-Veteran Board of Directors: Jason Leap from the United States Air Force, Josh Schmidt from the United States Army, and Curtis Fowler from the U.S. Marine Corps. Also, my good friend Matt Foster is here as well from the DFW area, who's instrumental to the North Texas Warrior Golf Association. Members, it's my honor to take time this morning to recognize them and the important work they do on golf courses all across the state of Texas. Thank you, Mr. Speaker.
I'm gonna. Members, please take your conversations outside the rail. Chair recognizes Ms. Morales of Harris for recognition.
Ladies, please join me here at the front mic, please. March is Women's History Month. And so today, in honor of Women's History Month, I want to honor the legacy of Minnie Fisher Cunningham, a little-known trailblazer from Texas, born 143 years ago today. She was a fearless suffragist who fought tirelessly to secure women's right to vote in Texas and across the nation. Her dedication to justice and equality continues to inspire us today. Because of her leadership, women in Texas had the right to vote 2 years before the 19th Amendment was ratified. Her work reminds us that progress comes from courage, persistence, and the belief that every voice matters. We also celebrate this historic milestone that we have reached in this very chamber. Gentlemen, if you could just listen for a minute over here to my right. We also celebrate this historic milestone that we have reached in this very chamber, that the largest number of women serving in the Texas legislature in history. We have 61 women. Look how far we have come. In that spirit, friends, I want to take a moment to recognize 3 outstanding women from my city who are making history today. First of all, my friend Frances Castañeda Dias, who was just appointed as the first woman of color to chair the Houston Pilots Board, shaping the future of our state's economic powerhouse, the Port of Houston. Also, Nancy Sims, a public relations and political strategist whose decades of work in civic engagement and education have strengthened Houston's leadership. She also teaches a course in women in politics at the University of Houston. Last but certainly not least, somebody who was recognized as we were walking down the halls here, Griselda Castillo, founder of Grizzly's Hood News, a community-driven media platform that informs and empowers Houstonians through grassroots journalism and advocacy. These women, like Minnie Fisher Cunningham before them, prove that when women lead, communities thrive. And before I leave this mic, I want to mention that the Center for Women in Government at the Texas Women University has a museum that includes a wing dedicated to Minnie Fisher Cunningham. We should have a movie about her. But director Marlene Phillips is here in the gallery today. Stand up, Marlene. Woohoo! Okay, now you. And I think she wanted to be.
Ms. Jones.
Yes. Oh, where is she? Where is she?
Where's who?
Oh, is she right there?
So, what a great day to be a woman. Like, what a great day. I had to come up here, one, because I know all 3 women on the dais, all 3. I know Nancy Sims happens to be my constituent. And Nancy has been behind the scenes running Houston politics for a long, long, long time. So she is a puppet master. She is. You want her on your side if you're doing anything. But let me tell you about Grizzy. Grizzy, I think, has a better rate of solving crimes than the police. In fact, I never knew her name. Everyone knows her as Grizzy. When people have crimes and people in some communities don't have relationships with the police and they're afraid that it won't be safe, they literally will give her Crime Stoppers. And so she really does help. And this is what I know. If a crime happens in the middle of the night, a woman got killed at a gas station in my district in the middle of the night. When Grizzy hears about it, because people contact her, she will get up in the dead of night to go document things on social media, because some people, that's where they get all of their information. So I want to say that there are so many different ways that women help. Some of us are in the House, some of us are in the Senate, some of us are other places, but we need grassroots people, and I just want to thank all of these women behind us, because they are the best at what they do in the areas that they are. And again, I'm going to say, I'm proud to be a woman.
Thank you.
Chair recognizes Ms. Rose.
Thank you, Mr. Speaker. I cannot stand here and talk about women's suffrage without talking about the women of Delta Sigma Theta Sorority Incorporated. Woo! In 1913, 22 women participated in the women's suffrage march. It is documented in history. They did not want them to be there, but they were there. And they were at the back of the line, but they still stood strong for women. And so I just could not let this moment go by without acknowledging that. Also, the other suffragists is Sojourner Truth, Ida B. Wells, Mary Turch Terrell. Yep. So thank you, Mr. Speaker, for this opportunity.
Thank you, members. For what purpose?
Mr. Speaker, I move that the members' comments be reduced to writing and placed in the journal.
Members, you've heard the motion. Is there any objection? Chair is none ordered. Aye. Chair recognizes Mr. Curry for recognition.
Thank you, Mr. Speaker. I'd like to have everybody's attention, please. Mr. Speaker, members, it is my pleasure to recognize the delegation from Waco, Texas, visiting their state capital for Waco Day, the home of the Baylor Bears. Waco, please stand up. Waco, no. Waco was founded in 1849 and played a central role in the development of cotton farming and was a stopping point for cowboys on the Chisholm Trail. Waco is also home to the historic Waco Suspension Bridge, which served as a Chisholm Trail crossing and was the longest single-span suspension bridge west of the Mississippi at the time of its completion. Tourism is a key to this region's prosperity, as Waco has one of the highest hotel occupancy rates in the state. Residents and visitors alike are drawn to such attraction as the Texas Sports Hall of Fame, the Texas Ranger Hall of Fame and Museum, the Waco Mammoth National Monument, as well as the scenic surroundings of Lake Waco and Cameron Park on the banks of the Brazos River. Waco is also the home of the Magnolia Market and its famous landmark silos, occupying 2 city blocks of downtown Waco and owned by Chip and Joanna Gaines. Thanks to Chip and Joanna, Waco has become a tourist destination, a hub for interior design and home renovation. During the presidency of George Bush, Waco was home to the White House Press Center, which provided briefing and office facilities for the press corps when President Bush was at the Western White House in his ranch in Crawford, 20 miles west of Waco and in my district. On the dais today, we have with us the mayor of Waco, Jim Holmes. We have the county judge of McLennan County, Scott Felton, and we have the president and CEO of the Greater Waco Chamber of Commerce, Matt Metters. We have several distinguished members with us in Waco as well, which would be Councilmember Darius Ewing, Councilmember Andrea Bearfield, and Councilmember Alice Rodriguez, as well as Carolyn Hafferkamp, the board chair of the Greater Waco Chamber. Thank you so much for paying attention to this, and thank you so much for Waco showing up so big in the Capitol. Everybody listen to them and meet them and shake their hands. I'm going to yield to Representative Orr.
Chair recognizes Ms. Orr.
Thank you, Mr. Speaker and members. I am proud to join Representative Curry in representing the city of Waco. It's an honor to have so many of our city and county leaders here today. In addition to being home to excellent educational institutions, including Baylor University, Texas State Technical College, and McLennan Community College, Waco was also designated as the first tourism-friendly certified community in Texas by the governor. Waco contributes immensely to Texas' economy and supports the growth of our tourism industry. Mr. Speaker and members, please join us in welcoming Waco delegation to their capital today.
Okay. Chair recognizes Ms. Orr for a motion.
Mr. Speaker, I move to suspend all necessary rules to take up and consider H.R. 581.
Members, you've heard the motion. Is there any objection? The chair hears none and the rules are suspended. Following resolution, clerk will read the resolution.
H.R. number 581 by Orr, recognizing March 19th, 2025 as Hill County Day at the state capitol.
Chair recognizes Ms. Orr to explain the resolution.
Thank you, Mr. Speaker. Members, this resolution recognizes March 19th, 2025 as Hill County Day at the state capitol. Hill County, my home county, was named in honor of Dr. George Washington Hill, a member of the Congress of the Republic of Texas, the Secretary of War and Navy under President Sam Houston. And Hillsborough was platted and designated as the county seat. Hill County is the birthplace of Lieutenant Governor Bob Bullock and country music legend Willie Nelson. Now home to more than 36,000 people, the county hosts a number of events enjoyed by residents of Hillsborough, Hubbard, Itasca, Whitney, and other communities. Annual favorites such as the County Fair, Autumn Fest, Cinco de Mayo, Pioneer Days, Hubbard City Trade Days, and recreational opportunities abound at Lake Whitney State Park. On April 8th, 2024, Hill County offered one of the best world's vantage points for viewing the solar eclipse in Texas. Members, we have numerous Hill County community members in the gallery. Please help me welcome them to their state capitol. Mr. Speaker, members, I move adoption.
The question occurs on the adoption of the resolution. Is there any objection? The chair hears none, and the resolution is adopted. Mr. Harris moves to add all members' names. Is there any objection? The chair hears none. So ordered. Chair recognizes Ms. Garcia Bear for a recognition.
Thank you, Mr. Speaker. It is my honor today to welcome to our Texas Capitol Mr. Al B. Shore, who is the recipient of Outstanding Texan from the Texas Legislative Black Caucus. Mr. Shore has left his mark on our community and left his mark on our world as a multi-platinum recording artist. His music and his community advocacy is, are we up there? Sorry, I thought so. His legacy and his community advocacy is unmatched. Al B. Shore emerged as a popular performer in the late 80s, earning multiple American Music Awards and Grammy nominations. Upon transitioning to a career as a producer, he continued to leave his stamp on the music industry by working with big names such as Usher and further establishing his influence on the R&B genre. But Mr. Shore is more than just a wonderful song. Although we can think about night and day reasons why we would want to honor Mr. Shore, one thing that I want to share with you all is Mr. Shore is the recipient of an organ transplant. Just 3 years ago, Mr. Shore was battling for his life as he laid in a coma for 3 months at Houston Methodist Hospital. It was by the love and the care and the good grace of the Lord Jesus Christ above that Mr. Shore was able to survive a liver transplant and use his name and his celebrity to uplift Texans and those who may be recipients of organ transplantation. He is a joint author to transplant legislation that we are carrying in the House this session. And one thing that he told us was, I cannot for the life of me wrap my head around how people who do not have the name of Al B. Shore, the people who do not have the resources to access medical care, for those who don't have the resources to access therapies, the medication, and to be able to leave work while going through this. He told us that many Texans are losing their jobs upon diagnosis of transplant. But even more so, many transplant victims or survivors, therefore, do not receive an organ because we are unsure of the organ donation process. This legislation is so important for us to understand that living donors are critical to saving lives, and Mr. Albie Shore is a true testament to that survival. So members, Mr. Shore has founded the Health Equity and Transplantation Coalition, and he is deeply involved in healthcare advocacy. And with him today is Rachel Nordingler, co-founder of this organization. Members, please join me in recognizing Mr. Albie Shore for his contributions as a musician, a philanthropist, and community advocate. Welcome him to his Texas house.
Chair recognizes Mr. Jones of Dallas for an announcement for a recognition.
Thank you, Mr. Speaker. Today and yesterday, we've had the opportunity to have some phenomenal African-American leaders representing black fraternities and sororities, black businesses, and a number of the different engines that run our great state. And today, I would like to recognize two individuals who are being recognized from my office and by the Texas Legislative Black Caucus as outstanding Texans. And so in the gallery today, we have Ms. Tiara Cooper. Where you at? And she is a native Dallas resident, House District 100 resident, and a trailblazer advocating for others. She has worked on incredible projects such as the Texas Coalition to Abolish the Death Penalty and serves as the managing director for the Defense of Black Lives Dallas. Cooper's work, activism, and fight for justice emphasizes the passion of an outstanding Texan. And so again, just wanted to recognize this amazing woman and her work for our great state as an outstanding Texan. Please give it up. And next, I have Mr. Willis Johnson, who unfortunately could not be here today, but this is another dynamic leader who serves as the CEO of JBJ Management and whose name is synonymous with public affairs of the state of Texas. He has worked in public affairs and has been recognized by organizations across this state. His work and contributions continue to help Texans alike. So I just want to thank both of our outstanding Texans, where this evening we will be recognizing them for the Texas Legislative Black Caucus Outstanding Texas Award Gala. Thank you so much, Mr. Speaker and members.
Chair recognizes Mr. Harrison for a recognition.
Thank you, Mr. Speaker. Members, I'm pleased to recognize today Leadership Ellis County, who is with us up in the gallery today. This group has participants from the Red Oak, Ennis, and Waxahachie Chambers of Commerce. This 9-month program is designed to equip the participants with the tools that they need to lead their businesses, their communities, and strengthen partnerships between the cities, the chambers, the industries, and the communities that they serve. With them today is the class of 2025, as well as multiple leaders in Ellis County, and they include the Leadership Ellis County Chair, Wanderima Payne, the Ennis Chamber President, Jeffrey Williams, Waxahachie Chamber President, Kevin Strength, the Ellis County Judge, Todd Little, Ennis Mayor, Cameron Rayburn, the Glen Heights Mayor, Sonia Brown. So please join me in welcoming them to their Texas state capitol. Thank you all for coming, guys.
Chair recognizes Mr. Ashby for a motion.
Thank you, Mr. Speaker. Members, I move to suspend all necessary rules and to take up and consider House Resolution 495.
Members, you've heard the motion. Is there any objection? The chair hears none, so ordered. Following resolution, clerk will read the resolution.
H.R. number 495 by Ashby, recognizing March 19th, 2025 as 4-H Day at the state capitol.
Chair recognizes Mr. Ashby to explain the resolution.
Thank you, Mr. Speaker. Members, today is 4-H Day at our state capitol. I know many of you are alumni of this outstanding organization, and so that you know what a positive impact 4-H has.
Members, please take your conversations outside the rail.
Thank you, Mr. Speaker. I know many of you are alumni of this outstanding organization, and so you know what a positive impact 4-H has on the hundreds of thousands of members and alums across the state. Established in 1908 as an agricultural club, 4-H has become Texas's largest youth development organization with over 550,000 students from all of Texas's 254 counties. 4-H's stand for head, heart, hands, and health, reflecting different aspects of an individual's personal and social responsibilities. Guided by the motto, to make the best better, today's clubs emphasize leadership, citizenship, and strong character, and help members to acquire valuable life skills and foster readiness for college and the workplace. Participants have the opportunity to engage in projects not only related to agriculture, but also to science, engineering, technology, natural resources, and healthy lifestyles. As a result, some of the most popular programs are food nutrition, agricultural awareness, education, gardening and horticulture, and veterinary science. Members, I'm honored to welcome a group of proud 4-H students that are up in the gallery. I would like to ask all the 4-Hers to please stand and be recognized. There they are. Members, please help me welcome these 4-Hers to their Texas capitol. Thank you, members. Thank you, Mr. Speaker.
Members, the question occurs on the adoption of the resolution. Is there any objection? The chair hears none. The resolution is adopted. Mr. Curry moves to add all members' names to the resolution. Is there any objection? Chair hears none. So ordered. Chair lays out the following previously adopted resolution. The clerk will read the caption.
H.R. 296 by Reynolds, recognizing March 19th, 2025 as Texas Association of African American Chambers of Commerce Black Business Day at the state capitol.
Chair recognizes Mr. Reynolds.
Thank you, Mr. Speaker. Members, I am so excited today on this March 19th to recognize the Texas Association of African American Chambers of Commerce for Black Business Day at the Capitol. Yes. I would like to extend a warm welcome to the Texas Association of African American Chambers that are here in the gallery. Would you please stand up? We have our president, Charles O'Neill, board chair, Matt Houston, and many others from across the state. Officially established in 1988, the Texas Association of African American Chambers of Commerce is one of the oldest black business leagues in America. Their predecessor organization, the Texas State Negro Chamber of Commerce, was established in 1936 to provide black business entrepreneurs the opportunity to participate in the state's dynamic economy. Today, TAC represents more than 10,000 black chamber members throughout the state and provides an effective voice for more than 350,000 black businesses across the state of Texas. Let's take a second to recognize the members of TAC for being a prominent voice and leading advocate promoting the development and enhancement of local black chambers of commerce. One of the reasons why Texas has one of the most vibrant economies. If Texas was its own country, it would be the 8th largest economy in the world. A part of that is because of TAC and the great work that you all do to promote economic development through our hub and other MBE programs across the state. Many may not know, but Texas has more African Americans than any other state in the country, and TAC to my understanding, has only this is the second largest number of black businesses in the country right here in Texas. So ladies and gentlemen, please welcome these dynamic business leaders, entrepreneurs who are helping our economy thrive and be the #1 economy in the nation. Welcome TAC for Black Business Day at the Capitol. Thank you, Mr. Speaker.
Chair recognizes Ms. Garcia of Bear for recognition.
Thank you, Mr. Speaker. It is my honor today to recognize Mary Burns Michael from District 124. Earlier this month, I had the opportunity to nominate her as Outstanding Texan, and she won that nomination. Ms. Michael has an extraordinary career in education, 35 years teaching, ranging from her home state of Georgia to serving military families in Japan. Teaching in San Antonio's Northside Independent School District earned her her namesake Mary Burns Michael Elementary School, of which my children had the honor to attend. Ms. Michael also volunteered as unit chaplain for disabled American veterans, leaving a legacy through her unwavering dedication to support our veterans. In honor of her contribution to our community through her teaching and volunteerism, Northside ISD named Mary Michael School in her honor, and we celebrate her today. While actively teaching, she received many esteemed honors, both locally and nationally, and in 1989, she was a recipient of the Black Achievement Award for Excellence in Education. Mary Burns Michael is one of 2 Black women who have schools named after them in San Antonio, Texas. And we are joined today by her daughter, Dr. Sharon Michael Chadwick. Members, please join me in celebrating and honoring Miss Mary Burns Michael and her continued commitment to education. Welcome to your State House.
Chair recognizes Ms. Button for a motion.
Thank you, Mr. Speaker. Members, I move to suspend all necessary rules to take up and consider H.R. 544, recognizing Texas Small Business Development Center Day at the state capitol.
Members, you've heard the motion. Is there any objection? The chair hears none. The rules are suspended. Following resolution, clerk will read the resolution.
H.R. number 544 by Button, recognizing March 19, 2025 as Texas Small Business Development Center Day.
Chair recognizes Ms. Button to explain the resolution.
Members, you know, the small business is so important to the state and create almost 99.7% of the total jobs. For Texas, the Small Business Development Center, the center provides business consulting at no cost and affordable training to help small business at every stage of development. For decades, they have been helping to create jobs and provide guidance for small business owners throughout the state, and they are visiting our capital today. And if you are still up in the balcony, can you stand up for recognition? All right, thank you. Thank you for coming all the way to join us. Welcome to People's House, and welcome. Thank you. Thank you for what you're doing for our state. I move passage.
The question occurs on the adoption of the resolution. Is there any objection? Chair hears none. The resolution is adopted. Mr. Bella Kaufman moves to add all members' names to the resolution. Is there any objection? The chair hears none. So ordered. Chair recognizes Ms. Allen for recognition.
Thank you, Mr. Speaker and members. It gives me great pleasure to recognize the Houston Black American Democrats. Would you please stand? Stand Up Joy representing the group. The other portion of the group had to go over to the Senate, and so we want to recognize them today. The Houston Black American Democrats, known as HBAD, is an organization dedicated to increasing civic engagement and voter participation in Black and underserved communities. They advocate for people in all aspects of public life through service and volunteerism, advocacy and leadership, development and voter education. HBAD has a strong membership of individuals representing diverse constituency base, including women, men, members of the LGBTQ community, youth, seniors, educators, faith leaders, public policy makers, and many others. And thank you for being here today, and thank you, members, for helping me recognize them. Would you give a big hand, please? Want to recognize Judge Joy Thomas, who was a tea-lipper in my office. Now she's big time. Thank you.
Chair recognizes Mr. Schofield for a motion.
Mr. Speaker, members, I move to suspend all necessary rules to take up House Resolution 558 honoring Katy Business and Education Day at the Capitol.
Members, you've heard the motion. Is there any objection? The chair hears none. The rules are suspended. Following resolution, clerk will read the resolution.
H.R. number 558 by Schofield, recognizing March 19th, 2025 as Katy Business and Education Legislative Day at the State Capitol.
Chair recognizes Mr. Schofield to explain the resolution.
Mr. Speaker, members, as you are all aware, because myself, Mr. Rosenthal, Mr. Morgan, and Mr. Kitzman stated to you endlessly, Katy is one of the fastest growing areas in our state. Over the last decade before the last redistricting, of the 150 slices of Texas that we cut ourselves into, Katy had the first and fourth largest growing district. A lot of that is due to the work of the people who we have with us here today, from the Katy Chamber of Commerce, the Katy Area Economic Development Council, and the Katy Board of Education, Katy ISD Board of Education. Now, our actual guests had to leave because they are now in a meeting with the comptroller, Glenn Hager of Katy, who we understand is leaving to take some job at a college. But in any event, a lot of the growth and a lot of the correct management of the growth that has led to Katy continuing to be a quality place to live is because of the work of some of these people that have come up today to visit us and to work with us. And so we wanted to recognize the Katy Area Chamber of Commerce, Matthew Ferraro, the president and CEO, and the board president of the Katy Area Chamber of Commerce. We also wanted to recognize Angie Thomason, the Katy Area Economic Development Council president, and Paul Kurt, who is president, and the superintendent of Katy ISD, Dr. Ken Grigorski, and Lance Redmond, one of the board of trustees that has come up. And I don't know if any of my fellow colleagues want to say a word, but I will, if they don't, make sure to move adoption.
Question occurs on the adoption of the resolution. Is there any objection? Chair hears none, so ordered.
Thank you, members.
Mr. Morgan moves to add all members' names. Is there any objection? Chair hears none, so ordered. Chair recognizes Mr. Landgraf for a motion.
Thank you, Mr. Speaker. I move to suspend all necessary rules to take up and consider House Resolution 590.
Members, you've heard the motion. Is there any objection? The chair hears none. The rules are suspended. Following resolution, clerk will read the resolution.
H.R. number 590 by Landgraf, recognizing March 19th, 2025 as Texas Hydrogen Day at the State Capitol.
Chair recognizes Mr. Landgraf to explain the resolution.
Thank you, Mr. Speaker. Today is Texas Hydrogen Day at the Texas Capitol, and we have more than 50 people here today with the Texas Hydrogen Alliance. Now, the Alliance represents individuals in every aspect of hydrogen energy, from production, storage pipelines, mobility, generation, and export. The investments being made by these businesses is worth billions to our Texas economy. Investing in hydrogen infrastructure and technology positions Texas to attract billions in private investment, create high-quality jobs, and spur more innovation across industries. Texas is home to an astonishing 50% of the world's hydrogen storage caverns, which solidifies Texas as a pivotal player in enabling reliable hydrogen storage solutions. Hydrogen can be produced from a variety of sources and processes, such as reforming natural gas or splitting water using electricity from wind and solar sources. Hydrogen applications range from power, heavy-duty vehicles, marine, rail, export, and other industrial use. Also, in observance of Texas Hydrogen Day, there is a hydrogen-fueled heavy-duty truck that's parked right out by the Extension garage, and members and staff are welcome to take it for a spin. Members, please help me in welcoming the leaders who are helping drive our economic prosperity here in Texas by declaring it Texas Hydrogen Day at the Texas Capitol. If we have any Alliance members here in the gallery, would you please stand and be recognized? And I think they may have already had some other meetings, but Mr. Speaker, I move adoption.
Members, question occurs on the adoption of the resolution. Is there any objection? Chair hears none. Resolution is adopted. Chair recognizes Ms. Kerwin for recognition.
Mr. Speaker, members, we are joined today by my hometown school district, Glen Rose. Trig Overbo and the Board of Trustees from Glen Rose ISD have joined us in the gallery. Glen Rose has been recognized for academic excellence and athletic prowess for decades. My 3 daughters attended Glen Rose K through 12. Because of the incredible culture in Glen Rose Independent School District, they are now successful, thriving adults. Will everyone stand so we can recognize Glen Rose? Welcome to your state capital, and thank you for everything you do for Texas's children.
Chair recognizes Mr. Reynolds for a motion.
Thank you, Mr. Speaker. I move to suspend all necessary rules to take up House Resolution 573, making today AME Day at the Capitol.
Members, you've heard the motion. Is there any objection? Chair hears none. The rules are suspended. Following resolution, clerk will read the resolution.
H.R. number 573 by Reynolds, recognizing March 19th, 2025 as African Methodist Episcopal Day at the State Capitol.
Chair recognizes Mr. Reynolds to explain the resolution.
Thank you, Mr. Speaker. Members, today we're so excited to welcome the African Methodist Episcopal Church, known as AME, here at our Texas State Capitol. You see all of these amazing individuals that have traveled across the state. The African Methodist Episcopal Church represents more than 2 centuries of spiritual leadership, social justice, and community building. Founded in 1816 by Richard Allen in Philadelphia. From its humble beginnings, the AME Church expanded through the South after the Civil War and became the largest African-American denomination in the Methodist tradition. For more than 2 centuries, the AME Church has been a vital force promoting spiritual enrichment while championing the rights and dignity of African-American and other communities. Its impact has been transformative, both in its members and our nation. I am pleased to welcome the AME Church members visiting Austin today. And on the dais, we have Bishop Ronnie Elijah Braceford Sr., the presiding prelate of the 10th District in Dallas, Texas, along with his wife. We also have a number of other members from the AME Church that are in the gallery that I want to recognize. We have the supervisor, which is his wife, Carolyn Braceford. We have presiding elders, clergy. We have presiding elder Pam Rivera, presiding elder Brenda Payne, presiding elder C. Dennis Williams, and presiding elder Chuma Okoli. Thank you for visiting your Texas State Capitol today. And with that, I will move adoption. Thank you. Oh, I'm sorry. Okay.
Chair recognizes Ms. Rose.
Thank you, Mr. Speaker. I would be remiss if I did not acknowledge the AME Church. I am a graduate of Paul Quinn College. That's right. Which is the oldest, I don't know what's going on, which is the oldest historically black college west of the Mississippi River. And I'm so proud today to see Presiding Elder C. Dennis Williams and his beautiful wife, Yvette Williams, here today. He serves, what is going on? Excuse me. He serves as the chaplain for Paul Quinn College, and so I just want to thank you for your leadership and thank you for just being a great friend. And also, I cannot move from this podium without acknowledging Reverend Dr. Chalice Bradford, who is the pastor of God Chapel AME Church. And so I just want to thank you all for being here today. I love the AME Church. I feel like I grew up in Paul Quinn College, and just thank you all for being here today. This is a great moment, and I love it. You look wonderful. So thank you all for being here.
Thank you, Mr. Speaker. And we all know that we know what the power of prayer does, so we thank you for your presence today. And with that, Mr. Speaker, I move adoption.
The question occurs on the adoption of the resolution. Is there any objection? Chair hears none. The resolution is adopted. Ms. Yvonne Davis of Dallas moves to add all members' names to the resolution. Is there any objection? Chair hears none. So ordered. Chair recognizes Mr. Cook for recognition.
Thank you, Mr. Speaker. And members, we have Mr. Tucker Hill and Emma Grace Hill as pages today. They are serving faithfully to all the members of the Texas House, and they are spending their spring break here with us today. So I would like to ask that you give them a big round of applause for their being here today on the Texas House floor. We're joined by their parents. We have Judge Ryan Hill and his wife Stephanie right here in the front row. If y'all would stand to be recognized. I want to thank Judge Hill for his service in Tarrant County. He was appointed by Governor Abbott just 2 years ago to be a criminal district judge in Tarrant County and serves us well in Tarrant County. And Stephanie is a realtor there in Tarrant County as well. And we just want to thank them and welcome them to the Texas Capitol as well. So thank you for being here.
Chair recognizes Mr. Busey for recognition.
Thank you, Mr. Speaker. Members, please join me in recognizing Chris Mihilsik, who's right here. If you'll stand up for us, please. We're recognizing her today for her exceptional service as an educator and her well-deserved recognition as the recipient of the 2025 Texas Teacher of the Year Award for the Texas Association of School Administrators. Chris is here today with her family, also seated in the gallery. With 23 years of teaching experience, Chris has demonstrated a passion for education that extends far beyond the classroom. She has been selected for prestigious programs such as the Fulbright Exchange Program in Japan, the Toyota International Teacher Program in Costa Rica, and the Northrop Grumman ECO Classroom Program, where she focused on tropical research. Chris's commitment to students is truly admirable, as she has not only dedicated herself to those in her classroom, but has also contributed to students nationwide. For 8 years, Chris has served as a consultant for the National Math and Science Initiative and has been a College Board AP exam reader for over a decade. Chris's excellence in inquiry-based teaching earned her the R.L. Moore Award twice, making her the only UT alumnus to receive this prestigious recognition twice from the university's UTeach program. Currently, Chris teaches 11th and 12th grade AP Environmental Science at Westwood High School, where she also serves as the Science Department Chair. I want to thank you for joining us here at the Capitol. I appreciate all that you do for Westwood, and I'm joined here by some of our fellow Round Rock ISD state representatives, and also thank you for representing Round Rock ISD community so well. Mr. Speaker and members, please join me in recognizing Chris Mihilsik, the 2025 Texas Teacher of the Year. Thank you, Mr. Speaker.
Chair recognizes Mr. Reynolds for a motion.
Thank you, Mr. Speaker. I move to suspend all necessary rules to take up and consider House Resolution 390.
Members, you've heard the motion. Is there any objection? Chair hears none. The rules are suspended. Following resolution, clerk will read the resolution.
H.R. number 390 by Reynolds, recognizing March 19th, 2025 as Houston Lawyers Association Day at the state capitol.
Chair recognizes Mr. Reynolds to explain the resolution.
Thank you, Mr. Speaker. I'm proud to present House Resolution 390 recognizing March 19, 2025 as Houston Lawyers Association Day at the Texas State Capitol. Today, we celebrate the exceptional members of the Houston Lawyers Association who are visiting their Texas Capitol and advocating for the greater Houston community. Here in the gallery, we have President Tracy A. Gibson, who is the current HLA president. I am so proud to be a past president of the Houston Lawyers Association. The Houston Lawyers Association is an affiliate chapter of the National Bar Association and was founded in 1955 to address the needs of black lawyers and the needs of the African American community. At the time, the Houston Bar Association refused admission of African American attorneys, which prompted HLA founders Robert H. Hainsworth, W.M.C. Dickinson, and F.S.A. Whitaker to establish the Houston Lawyers Association. Currently, HLA continues to provide its lawyers with a forum and opportunity to address various issues that affect the black community. I am immensely grateful for all the work and advocacy of the Houston Lawyers Association. They help mentor and raise scholarships for law students. They help lawyers with continuing legal education. They provide countless hours of pro bono service for people that can't afford representation. So, ladies and gentlemen, please recognize the Houston Lawyers Association on their Advocacy Day here at the Texas State Capitol. And with that, Mr. Speaker, I move adoption.
Question occurs on the adoption of the resolution. Is there any objection? Chair hears none. Resolution is adopted. Chair recognizes Mr. Reynolds for a recognition.
Thank you, Mr. Speaker. I'm super excited to recognize today the Texas State NAACP, the National Association for the Advancement of Colored People. I want to extend and welcome our Texas State Conference President, Gary Bledsoe, who has been a transformational leader in this state for decades. As a past president of the NAACP Missouri City branch, Gary has been a long mentor, a true advocate when it comes to advocating for voting rights, for civil rights, and so many other things. Formed in 1909, the NAACP is the nation's oldest and largest, and I would say baddest, civil rights organization in the country. In 1915, the first chapter of the state was established in El Paso, with 4 more cities in the state gaining branches 3 years later. In advocacy, the NAACP aims to make sure that African American voices are heard, demands are met, and that Black excellence is amplified. The NAACP has been on the front line advocating for many of the rights and freedoms that we have today. From the classrooms and courtrooms to city halls and Congress, their network of members across the country works to secure the social and political power that will end race discrimination in our country. Today, the NAACP has over 100 units in Texas alone, and many of them are here in the gallery today. We know that there are many branch presidents that are here. We know that there are several national board members. And I want to take this moment to thank you all, the Texas State Conference, for being unwavering, for always being willing to speak truth to power, for advocating when it comes to many issues that marginalized communities face. You're the voice. You're the ones that are there to make sure that people have a voice. So when it comes to civil rights, when it comes to human rights, and every aspect of life, education, healthcare, criminal justice, and the environment, the NAACP is the nation's voice. So today we want to welcome you to your capital. We want to thank you for your tremendous leadership, and we know that you're going to be here today advocating for good public policy. So as we see this gallery, we're so excited. We're encouraged by your presence here today, and we look forward to working with each and every one of you.
Chair recognizes Ms. Rose.
Thank you, Mr. Speaker. I would be remiss if I did not acknowledge the Dallas branch who is here today. All right. I am where Dr. Sharon Middlebrook is the president, and I would be remiss not to also acknowledge that I am a Gold Life member of the NAACP, a very proud member, and I've also served in leadership in the Dallas branch. So thank you all for being here today.
Chair recognizes Ms. Ward Johnson.
Yes, thank you. I would like to acknowledge Houston's branch of the NAACP and Bishop James Dixon, who is also in the gallery. Thank you so much, and welcome to the House.
Thank you, Mr. Speaker. Thank you, NAACP. God bless you. Thank you.
Chair recognizes Mr. Lujan for a recognition.
Thank you, Mr. Speaker. Members, I want to bring to your attention a group in the gallery from Buckner International. Where are you at, Buckner International? I want you to please join me in welcoming Dr. Albert Reyes and congratulating him on 15 years of excellent leadership as President and CEO of Buckner. There you go. Buckner has been serving those in need for almost 150 years. The work they do to protect children, strengthen families, and transform generations is truly admirable. I personally know many lives who have been touched by this incredible organization. Thank you for all you do to support our most vulnerable children and families in Bexar County and across the state and all over the world. Welcome to your Texas capital. Thank you.
Chair recognizes Mr. Raymond for recognition.
Thank you, Mr. Speaker. Members, I ask this year, the 25th is the 25th anniversary of the establishment of the Roman Catholic Diocese of Laredo. Bishop James Anthony Tamayo has led the diocese since the beginning. He is a native of Brownsville and was ordained in 1976. He served in the Diocese of Corpus Christi for 16 years before his appointment as bishop. He has promoted a culture of faith that serves the community's needs. He is a national leader for the Roman Catholic Church in America. We wish him best wishes for his future and honor him for his years of service to South Texas and, of course, especially to the people of Laredo. He is in the Capitol, so I hope that he is standing up so we can recognize him. Bishop, thank you for being here, and all who are with you. I think there's a group with you from Laredo. Welcome to your capital, and God bless you.
Chair recognizes Mr. Reynolds for recognition.
Thank you, Mr. Speaker. Members, I'm so excited today to recognize Pure Justice, who is in the gallery. Would you please stand and be recognized? Thank you for your amazing work in the greater Houston area, fighting for environmental justice, criminal justice reform, economic empowerment, voting rights. We have Rashawn, who is an amazing, dynamic leader. I want to give a shout out to your co-founder, your wife, Sasha Leggett, who is holding it down in Harris County, and all of the members of Pure Justice who are here advocating for good public policy. Welcome to your state capitol. Thank you for everything you do, not just in the Houston and Harris County, but all over the state of Texas for marginalized communities. Welcome to your capital, and thank you for being here. Thank you, Mr. Speaker.
The following announcements, the clerk will read the announcements.
The Committee on Delivery of Government Efficiency, which is scheduled to meet today upon final adjournment or during bill referral, will convene at 1 p.m. in the posted location.
Chair recognizes Mr. Kitzman for an announcement.
Thank you, Mr. Speaker and members. The Capitol Commission today will have a member Bible study in room 3W.9, and for what it's worth, Austin Land and Cattle is going to provide the lunch. So come pray and eat lunch with Mr. Wall. Thank you.
I urge you to join us. Scott Wall has great Bible study. Again, it's right up here on third floor, right behind the dais, and it's steak and chicken right now from Austin Land and Cattle. So come join us. Thank you.
Members, the speaker's desk is clear. If you have any announcements, please bring them down front. Mr. Kitzman moves the House adjourn pending the reading and referral of bills until 10 a.m. Thursday. Is there any objection? Chair hears none. The House stands adjourned pending the reading and referral of bills. The following bills and resolutions on first reading and referral to committee. The clerk will read the bills and resolutions.
HB 2751 by Goodwin, relating to the recusal of a member of the Railroad Commission of Texas in certain matters, refer to the Committee on State Affairs. HB 2752 by Vasut, relating to the purchase and acquisition of title or to real property by certain aliens or foreign entities, refer to the Committee on Homeland Security, Public Safety, and Veterans Affairs. HB 2753 by Garcia Hernandez, relating to the unlawful employment practices based on sexual harassment, including complaints that civil actions arise from those practices, refer to the Subcommittee on Workforce. HB 2754 by Garcia Bear, relating to the pilot program awarding grants for the provision of personalized treatment protocols for the homeless veterans diagnosed with substance use disorders, referred to the Subcommittee on Veterans Affairs and Defense. HB 2755 by Rosenthal, relating to the requirements for and transparency of epidemiological reports and immunization exemption information and reports, referred to the Committee on Public Health. HB 2756 by Thompson, relating to the training on de-escalation, crisis intervention, and behavioral health of correctional officers and certain other employees of the Texas Department of Criminal Justice, referred to the Committee on Corrections. HB 2757 by Frank, relating to a public school policy for establishing age for purposes of admission into a school for certain children of foreign military members, referred to the Committee on Public Education. HB 2758 by Bryant, relating to certain statutory changes to reflect and address same-sex marriages and parenting relationships, and to the removal of the provisions regarding the criminally or unacceptability of homosexual conduct, referred to the Committee on Judiciary and Civil Jurisprudence. HB 2759 by Burdell, relating to the unlawful possession of a firearm by a person convicted of certain felony offenses, referred to the Committee on Homeland Security, Public Safety, and Veterans Affairs. HB 2760 by Villalobos, relating to the judicial review of Texas Workforce Commission decision in an unemployment compensation proceeding, referred to the Committee on Trade, Workforce, and Economic Development. HB 2761 by Johnson, relating to the prosecution of the offenses of trafficking other persons and continuous trafficking of persons, referred to the Committee on Criminal Jurisprudence. HB 2762 by Guerin, relating to the ownership of the pore space underlying the surface of land, referred to the Committee on Energy Resources. HB 2763 by Guillen, relating to designation of the Texas Department of Transportation building in Starr County as the Eduardo Eddie Garcia Jr. PE Area Engineer and Maintenance Facility, referred to the Committee on Transportation. HB 2764 by Guillen, relating to reporting by the Texas Education Agency and the Comptroller on school finance, referred to the Committee on Public Education. HB 2765 by Guillen, relating to the Rural Economic Development and Investment Program and Texas Economic Development Fund, referred to the Committee on Agriculture and Livestock. HB 2766 by Guerin, relating to the plugging of certain inactive wells subject to jurisdiction of the Railroad Commission of Texas, referred to the Committee on Energy Resources. HB 2767 by Landgraf, relating to the regulation of online global marketplaces, referred to the Committee on State Affairs. HB 2768 by Capriglione, relating to the development of state information technology apprenticeship credential offered by public junior colleges or public technical institutes to address shortages in the state information resources workforce, referred to the Committee on Delivery of Government Efficiency. HB 2769 by Anchia, relating to prohibiting the transfer of certain semi-automatic rifles to certain recipients, creating a criminal offenses, increasing a criminal penalty, referred to the Committee on Homeland Security, Public Safety, and Veterans Affairs. HB 2770 by Schatzline, relating to municipal diversity, equity, and inclusion initiatives, referred to the Committee on State Affairs. HB 2771 by Hayes, relating to the possession of a firearm by persons convicted of certain felony offenses, referred to the Committee on Homeland Security, Public Safety, and Veterans Affairs. HB 2772 by Thompson, relating to the affirmative defense to the prosecution for victims of certain offenses, referred to the Committee on Criminal Jurisprudence. HB 2773 by Leach, relating to the unlawful altering of election procedures, providing a civil penalty, referred to the Committee on Elections. HB 2774 by Burdell, relating to the authority of Bandera County River Authority and the Groundwater District to regulate structures near Medina Lake, referred to the Committee on Natural Resources. HB 2775 by Landgraf, relating to the I-27 Advisory Committee, refer to the Committee on Transportation. HB 2776 by McLaughlin, relating to the criminal and licensing consequences for the commission of certain offenses by massage establishments, massage schools, massage therapists, and massage therapy instructors, refer to the Committee on Licensing and Administrative Procedures. HB 2777 by Rose, relating to the applicability of the death penalty to capital offense committed by a person with severe mental illness, refer to the Committee on Criminal Jurisprudence. HB 2778 by Dutton, relating to the release on bail of certain persons charged with a violation of a condition of the person's release from the Texas Department of Criminal Justice, refer to the Committee on Criminal Jurisprudence. HB 2779 by Dutton, relating to the operation of free pre-kindergarten programs by certain school districts and to the early education allotment under the Foundation School Program, for the Committee on Public Education. HB 2780 by Dutton, relating to the creation of the Texas Teacher Residency Partnership Program and the Residency Partnership Allotment under the Foundation School Program, for the Committee on Public Education. HB 2781 by Dutton, relating to the menstrual disorders education and informational materials for public school students, for the Committee on Public Education. HB 2782 by Dutton, relating to the instructional facilities funding for certain open enrollment charter schools, for the Committee on Public Education. HB 2783 by Garcia of Dallas, relating to the automatic participation by certain county employees and deferred compensation plans provided by certain counties, for the Committee on Pensions, Investments, and Financial Services. HB 2784 by Meza, relating to the health benefit plan coverage for conversion therapy, referred to the Committee on Insurance. HB 2785 by Garcia of Dallas, relating to the display of certain information on the Secretary of State's internet website prior to the completion of an online voter registration application, for the Committee on Elections. HB 2786 by Turner, relating to the frequency with which an appraisal district is required to reappraise a property for ad valorem tax purposes, for the Subcommittee on Tax Appraisals. HB 2787 by Turner, relating to the qualification of candidates for and the training of education members of the Board of Directors of an appraisal district, for the Subcommittee on Property Tax Appraisals. HB 2788 by Button, relating to the fraud detection information and public information law, for the Committee on Trade, Workforce, and Economic Development. HB 2789 by Frank, relating to the regulation of child welfare, including licensure, community-based care, contractors, family homes, and child care facilities, for the Committee on Human Services. HB 2790 by Darby, relating to the liability and capturing of storing of carbon dioxide refer to the Committee on Judiciary and Civil Jurisprudence. HB 2791 by Button relating to the continuation of functions of the Vocational Rehabilitation Division administered by the Texas Workforce Commission, refer to the Committee on Trade, Workforce, and Economic Development. HB 2792 by Simmons relating to a study on capital punishment in the state and to the moratorium on executions for the Committee on Criminal Jurisprudence. HB 2793 by Metcalf relating to the possession and consumption of wine on the premise of mixed beverage permittee for refer to the Committee on Licensing and Administrative Procedures. HB 2794 by Capriglione relating to the admissibility of evidence regarding a victim's past sexual behavior and prosecutions of certain assaultive offenses for the Committee on Criminal Jurisprudence. HB 2795 by Tallarico relating to the criminal offenses for creating and distributing certain misleading images and videos creating criminal offense for the Committee on Elections. HB 2796 by Lowe relating to permissible uses of money received from the purchase of an attendance credit by a school district refer to the Committee on Public Education. HB 2797 by Pursuit relating to the authority of home rule municipalities to regulate the occupancy of dwelling units refer to the Committee on Land Resource Management. HB 2798 by Poliso relating to the disclosures and other requirements concerning virtual currency kiosk transactions authorizing a fee refer to the Committee on Pensions, Investments, and Financial Services. HB 2799 by Dutton relating to the exclusion of certain cases from judicial statistics reporting, court performance measures, or other judicial or court efficiency reporting by the Texas Judicial Council and the Office of the Court Administration of the Texas Judicial System, refer to the Committee on Judicial and Civil Jurisprudence. HB 2800 by Dutton relating to the apprenticeship system of adult career and technology education for the Subcommittee on Academic and Career-Oriented Education. HB 2801 by Simmons relating to the definition of an epinephrine delivery device and the use of those devices in public and private schools for the Committee on Public Education. HB 2802 by Busey relating to the public retirement systems for employees of certain municipalities for the Committee on Pensions, Investments, and Financial Services. HB 2803 by Hayes relating to requiring an election judge to provide a watcher removed from a polling place a signed statement containing a reason for removal for the Committee on Elections. HB 2804 by Hayes relating to assisting a voter in early voting polling place refer to the Committee on Elections. HB 2805 by De Ayala relating to civil actions related to groundwater conservation districts refer to the Committee on Natural Resources. HB 2806 by Lujan relating to an attack by a dangerous dog increasing criminal penalties and creating a criminal offense for the Committee on Public Health. HB 2807 by Rose relating to the statewide intellectual and developmental disability coordinating council refer to the Committee on Human Services. HB 2808 by Rose relating to an administration by the Texas Department of Housing and Community Affairs of a homeless housing and service program for youth and young adults for the Committee on Intergovernmental Affairs. HB 2809 by Rose relating to required reporting by the Department of Family and Protective Services regarding youth and the managing conservatorship of the Department of who attempts suicide refer to the Committee on Human Services. HB 2810 by Kane relating to the power of governmental entity to enforce compliance with those posted speed limits by an automated traffic control system refer to the Committee on Transportation. HB 2811 by Hayes relating to the date of the meeting of presidential electors of the state refer to the Committee on Elections. HB 2812 by Isaac relating to the exemption of public water supply wells from regulation, permitting, or metering by the Hayes Trinity Groundwater Conservation District for the Committee on Natural Resources. HB 2813 by Alders relating to a victim notification of certain scheduled court proceedings refer to the Committee on Criminal Jurisprudence. HB 2814 by Plisa relating to providing children committed to the Texas Juvenile Justice Development and prisoners serving a sentence in a county jail with certain documents on discharge or release authorizing a fee refer to the Subcommittee on County and Regional Government. HB 2815 by Gerdes relating to the financing of water supply projects including the State Water Plan authorizing issuance obligations for the Committee on Natural Resources. HB 2816 by Oliverson relating to the protection of rights of conscience of persons providing health care facilities from offering certain health care services, providing a civil remedy, authorizing disciplinary action, refer to the Committee on Public Health. HB 2817 by Isaac relating to the use of water withdrawn from the Edwards Aquifer, refer to the Committee on Natural Resources. HB 2818 by Capriglione relating to Artificial Intelligence Division within the Department of Information Resources, refer to the Committee on Delivery of Government Efficiency. HB 2819 by Oliverson relating to the licensing and regulation of outpatients behavioral health centers, authorizing civil and administrative penalties, imposing fees, refer to the Committee on Public Health. HB 2820 by Lauterbach relating to the limits on the amount of operating capital by charitable bingo organization, refer to the Committee on Licensing and Administrative Procedures. HB 2821 by Schatzline relating to county diversity, equity, and inclusion initiatives, refer to the Committee on State Affairs. HB 2822 by Plisa relating to the stopping, standing, or parking of a vehicle in a parking space designated as an electric vehicle charging station, refer to the Committee on Transportation. HB 2823 by Lauterbach relating to establishing a grant program for qualified medical expenses of retired law enforcement dogs, refer to the Committee on Homeland Security, Public Safety, and Veterans Affairs. HB 2824 by Hernandez relating to the regulation of certain facilities that store and distribute the benzene or other volatile organic compound, creating a criminal offense for the Committee on Environmental Regulation. HB 2825 by Craddock relating to the sales and use tax exemptions and refunds of certain tangible personal property used to provide cable television services, internet access services, or telecommunication services, refer to the Committee on Ways and Means. HB 2826 by Kane relating to the regulation of certain political communications or prohibition of electioneering by school districts district and open enrollment, charter schools, officials, and employees, and actions of other proceedings by the public school challenging the operations of the public school system, authorizing an administrative penalty, creating a criminal offense. Refer to the Committee on Public Education. HB 2827 by Paul, relating to a renewal of engineering license or registration. Refer to the Committee on Licensing and Administrative Procedures. HB 2828 by Paul, relating to a partial payment by an owner of an amount owed to the Property Owners Association. Refer to the Committee on Trade, Workforce, and Economic Development. HB 2829 by Toth, relating to certain outdoor signs regulated by the Texas Department of Transportation. Refer to the Committee on Transportation. HB 2830 by Howard, relating to a report by the Legislative Budget Board on the reliance by this state on certain dedicated revenue for the purpose of budget certification. Refer to the Committee on Appropriations. HB 2831 by Police, relating to the collection of reproductive health information, imposing a civil penalty. Refer to the Committee on Public Health. HB 2832 by Harris Davila, relating to requiring the approval of comptroller public accounts before the state agency may accept federal money. Refer to the Committee on Delivery of Government Efficiency. HB 2833 by Howard, relating to the sales and use tax exemption for healthcare supplies. Refer to the Committee on Ways and Means. HB 2834 by Police, relating to eligibility for tuition and fee exemptions at public institutions of higher education for certain students who are under conservatorship of the Department of Family and Protective Services. Refer to the Committee on Higher Education. HB 2835 by Anchia, relating to the basic allotment and guaranteed yield under the Foundation School Program, including an adjustment in those amounts that reflect inflation. Refer to the Committee on Public Education. HB 2836 by Anchia, relating to the minimum wage. Refer to the Subcommittee on Workforce. HB 2837 by Anchia, relating to state, local, and court involvement in determining whether victims and witnesses to an offense of certain detained, arrested, or incarcerated persons are lawfully present in the United States. Refer to the Committee on State Affairs. HB 2838 by Ashby, relating to increasing access to and reducing taxation of internet services. Refer to the Subcommittee on Telecommunications and Broadband. HB 2839 by Isaac, relating to a tuition and fee exemptions at public institutions of higher education for certain military personnel. Refer to the Committee on Higher Education. HB 2840 by Schaffner, relating to labeling of products as milk and milk products. Refer to the Committee on Trade, Workforce, and Economic Development. HB 2841 by Smithy, relating to the Texas Windstorm Insurance Association underwriting standards for new structures constructed in accordance with certain construction standards. Refer to the Committee on Insurance. HB 2842 by Zwiener, relating to the control of lethal means of white-tailed deer in certain areas. Refer to the Committee on Culture, Recreation, and Tourism. HB 2843 by Zwiener, relating to civil liability for sexual assault resulting in a pregnancy carried to term. Refer to the Committee on Judiciary and Civil Jurisprudence. HB 2844 by Landgraf, relating to the regulation of mobile food vendors, requiring an occupational license, imposing fees, authorizing an administrative penalty. Refer to the Committee on State Affairs. HB 2845 by Shaheen, relating to the designation of controlled substance overdose for the purpose of the death certificate. Refer to the Committee on Public Health. HB 2846 by Shaheen, relating to parental rights in public education and prohibiting instruction regarding sexual orientation or gender identity for public school students. Refer to the Committee on Public Education. HB 2847 by Dutton, relating to the truancy and parental contribution to non-attendance of school, increasing the criminal penalty. Refer to the Subcommittee on Juvenile Justice. HB 2848 by Dutton, relating to the exemption from or refund of tuition and fees for certain lower division students enrolled at Texas Southern University or Prairie View A&M University. Refer to the Committee on Higher Education. HB 2849 by Allen, relating to policies on the recess period in public schools. Refer to the Committee on Public Education. HB 2850 by Perez of El Paso, relating to financial incentives for public school teachers who commit to teach a dual credit course. Refer to the Committee on Higher Education. HB 2851 by Howard, relating to including nursing school applications in a consolidated application service. Refer to the Committee on Higher Education. HB 2852 by Perez of El Paso, relating to the issuance of provisional license and practice medicine to certain foreign medical license holders with officers to employment, authorizing a fee. Refer to the Committee on Public Health. HB 2853 by Perez of El Paso, relating to student unit building fees at the University of Texas at El Paso. Refer to the Committee on Higher Education. HB 2854 by Anchia, relating to required approval of certain hospital visits as a condition of release on parole to or mandatory supervision for certain releases and to the hospital liability for damage resulting in those visits. Refer to the Committee on Corrections. HB 2855 by Perez of El Paso, relating to authorizing the issuance and revenue bonds of certain capital projects at the University of Texas at El Paso. Refer to the Committee on Higher Education. HB 2856 by Howard, relating to a study by the Texas Higher Education Coordinating Board on the feasibility of implementing a statewide system for coordinating clinical training placements. For the Committee on Higher Education. HB 2857 by Tepper, relating to the purchase or acquisition of personal property by a political subdivision. Refer to the Committee on Intergovernmental Affairs. HB 2858 by Lopez Abear, relating to the establishment of temporary guest work program in this state. Refer to the Committee on State Affairs. HB 2859 by Guerra, relating to requirements for subscription service contacts, providing a civil penalty. Refer to the Committee on Trade, Workforce, and Economic Development. HB 2860 by Guerra, relating to a plan by the Department of State Health Services to establish and improve tuition reimbursement and student loan repayment programs and healthcare professionals serving board communities. For the Committee on Higher Education. HB 2861 by Guerra, relating to the implementation of telehealth service programs in certain public primary and secondary schools and the appointment of a telehealth service program task force to conduct a study and issue a report concerning implementation of those programs. For the Committee on Public Health. HB 2862 by Curry relating to the compensation and reimbursement information required to be disclosed in a lobbyist registration form. For the Committee on State Affairs. HB 2863 by Villalobos relating to a hearing on the refusal to issue or to the revocation or suspension of a vehicle title. Refer to the Committee on Transportation. HB 2864 by Noble relating to applying an active effort standard for the removal of certain children in the managing conservatorship of the Department of Family and Protective Services. Refer to the Committee on Human Services. HB 2865 by Noble relating to a prohibition or conducting an ex parte renewal of a recipient's Medicaid eligibility. Refer to the Committee on Human Services. HB 2866 by Leo Wilson relating to public school accountability and actions and other proceedings challenging the operations of the public school system. Refer to the Committee on Public Education. HB 2867 by Gates relating to late payment fees charged by a municipality-owned water utility. Refer to the Committee on Natural Resources. HB 2868 by Metcalf relating to the consideration of the proportion of long-term debt and equity capitalization and establishing the rates of certain electric utilities. Refer to the Committee on State Affairs. HB 2869 by Metcalf relating to the financing mechanism allowing electricity utilities to obtain recovery of costs associated with a weather-related event or other natural disaster, granting authority to issue bonds. Refer to the Committee on State Affairs. HB 2870 by Zwiener relating to water breaks for construction employees or contractors of contracting with a governmental entity providing administrative penalty. Refer to the Committee on State Affairs. HB 2871 by Garcia Bear relating to the criminal penalties for the possession of marijuana, changing the eligibility for community supervision. Refer to the Committee on Criminal Jurisprudence. HB 2872 by Olcott relating to the release or disclosure of vaccination or immunization information providing a civil penalty. Refer to the Committee on Public Health. HB 2873 by Lalani relating to the replacement and modernization of obsolete or inefficient computer hardware and software technology used by certain state agencies. Refer to the Committee on Delivery of Government Efficiency. HB 2874 by Lalani relating to the inclusion of provenance data on content shared at social media platforms. Refer to the Committee on Trade, Workforce, and Economic Development. HB 2875 by Lalani relating to the development and adoption by school district of local policies and addressing eloping behavior with students with autism or other intellectual or developmental disabilities. For the Committee on Public Education. HB 2876 by Gerdes relating to the amendment of an existing comprehensive development agreement for a portion of a State Highway 130 to facilitate non-toll transportation projects. For the Subcommittee on Transportation Funding.
HB 2877 by Villalobos relating to the definition of the project financing zone for the purposes of certain municipalities that use certain tax revenue for the fund convention center facilities, multipurpose arenas, venues, and related infrastructure. For the Committee on Ways and Means. HB 2878 by Guillen relating to the use of the revenue for the tax increment fund for the certain tax increment financing investment zones for the acquisition, construction, and reconstruction of educational facility. Refer to the Committee on Ways and Means. HB 2879 by Isaac relating to the justified use of force, including deadly force by certain persons or certain residential properties or manufactured home community property. For the Committee on Trade, Workforce, and Economic Development. HB 2880 by Thompson relating to the providing a designation of school district campuses that were take certain action to address mental and behavioral health of well-being of students. Or for the Committee of Public Education. HB 2881 by Isaac relating to the enforcement of federal laws restricting the acquisition, manufacturing, or possession of ammunition in the state. For the Committee on State Affairs. HB 2882 by Isaac relating to the definition of short-barreled firearm for the purposes of creating certain criminal offenses. Or for the Committee of Homeland Security, Public Safety, and Veterans Affairs. HB 2883 by Thompson relating to the corrected action plan for excessive emissions events involving concrete facilities. Or for the Committee on Environmental Regulation. HB 2884 by Landgraf relating to the required disclosure of certain financial relationships and civil actions against the United States defense contractors. Or for the Committee of Judiciary and Civil Jurisprudence. HB 2885 by Gerdes relating to allowing the governing boards of political subdivisions to call for a local option election relating to the sale of alcoholic beverages. Or for the Committee of Licensing and Administrative Procedures. HB 2886 by Noble relating to the administrative remedies for certain fraud and abuse violations under Medicaid, providing administrative penalties. Or for the Committee of Human Services. HB 2887 by Isaac relating to the jurisdiction of international organizations. Or for the Committee on State Affairs. HB 2888 by Isaac relating to the motorist who fails to hold a driver's license or maintain a motor vehicle liability insurance for financial responsibility of motor vehicle to recover damages arising from motor vehicle collision. Refer to the Committee of Judiciary and Civil Jurisprudence. HB 2889 by Isaac relating to the requiring political subdivision to provide funding for communications of opponents of bond measures for political subdivision. Refer to the Committee on Pensions, Investments, and Financial Services. HB 2890 by Patterson relating to the interstate compact for the liquefied natural gas industry. For the Committee of Energy Resources. HB 2891 by Anchia relating to the imposition of administrative, civil, and criminal penalties for violating certain statutes under the jurisdiction, rules, or orders adopted by or licensing permits or certificates issued by the Railroad Commission of Texas. Refer to the Committee on Energy Resources. HB 2892 by Hernandez relating to the prohibited release of public agency of personal affiliation information regarding the members, supporters, or volunteers or donors of certain nonprofit organizations creating criminal offense. Or for the Committee on State Affairs. HB 2893 by Patterson relating to the authorization of the Texas Higher Education Coordinating Board for certain public junior colleges of certain baccalaureate degree programs, or for the Committee of Higher Education, HB 2894 by Heckler and relating to the provision of state aid of certain local governments disproportionately affected by the ad valorem tax relief of disabled veterans, or for the Committee on Ways and Means, HB 2895 by Patterson relating to the legal justification of using force or deadly force in response to the commission of attempted commission of a violent felony, or for the Committee on Criminal Jurisprudence, HB 2896 by Anchia relating to the insurance coverage of the disposition of embryotic and fetal tissue remains, or for the Committee on Insurance, HB 2897 by Holt relating to the state of judiciary message delivered by the presiding judge at the Court of Criminal Appeals, or for the Committee of House Administration, HB 2898 by Frank relating to the requirements of the meteorology evaluation towers, or for the Committee on State Affairs, HB 2899 by Alders relating to the requirement of the courses in the core curriculum adopted by public institutions of higher education, for the Committee on Higher Education, HB 2900 by Simmons relating to the landlord duty to provide and maintain a good operating condition, heating and air conditioning equipment in an apartment unit, or for the Committee of Trade, Workforce, and Economic Development, HB 2901 by Simmons relating to the maximum amount of security deposits for residential leave, or for the Committee of Trade, Workforce, and Economic Development, HB 2902 by Bowers relating to the establishment of a supported independent living program, or for the Committee on Human Services, HB 2903 by Simmons relating to the landlord duty to acknowledge recipient of notice of a repair or remedy of a condition that has material effects the physical or health or safety of a tenant, or for the Committee on Trade, Workforce, and Economic Development, HB 2904 by Simmons relating to the restrictions on and required disclosures relating to rent increases for residential manufactured home tenacities, or for the Committee of Trade, Workforce, and Economic Development, HB 2905 by Simmons relating to the rental application fees providing administrative penalty, or for the Committee of Trade, Workforce, and Economic Development, HB 2906 by Simmons relating to the civil liability of towing companies, booting companies, and parking facility owners for certain violations, or for the Committee of Licensing and Administrative Procedures, HB 2907 by Simmons relating to the use of a landlord's manager, or agent of tenant's name and likeness for a commercial purpose, or for the Committee of Trade, Workforce, and Economic Development, HB 2908 by Simmons relating to the tenants or receipt of security deposit refund, for the Committee of Trade, Workforce, and Economic Development, HB 2909 by Simmons relating to the expunction of records in residential evacuation suits, or for the Committee of Trade, Workforce, and Economic Development, HB 2910 by Hinojosa relating to the single-family homes held by corporate owners for rental purposes, providing a civil penalty, or for the Committee of Trade, Workforce, and Economic Development, HB 2911 by Frank relating to the participation in uniform coverage program for active school employees and the additional state aid for the public schools that do not participate in the program, or for the Committee of Public Education, HB 2912 by Kane relating to the prohibition of engaging in lobbying activities on behalf of foreign adversary, or for the Committee of Homeland Security, Public Safety, and Veterans Affairs, HB 2913 by Jones of Dallas relating to the authority of a municipality to allow a person to file an application to stop a non-conforming use of property, or for the Committee of Land and Resource Management, HB 2914 by Alders relating to the redesignation of a portion of the U.S. Highway 69 in Smith County as a Veterans Memorial Highway, for the Subcommittee on Defense and Veterans Affairs, HB 2915 by Shaheen relating to the meeting criminal penalty for rigging a publicly exhausted contest, or for the Committee on Criminal Jurisprudence, HB 2916 by Leach relating to the criminal and civil liability, disabling and damaging or destroying an unmanned aircraft, or for the Committee of Judiciary and Civil Jurisprudence, HB 2917 by Gonzalez of El Paso relating to the establishment of Building Better Futures program to support educational, occupational training, skills opportunities, and support services for students with intellectual and developmental disabilities at public and private institutions of higher education, or for the Committee of Higher Education, HB 2919 by Shaheen relating to the abolishment of the state lottery, for the Committee of Licensing and Administrative Procedures, HB 2919 by Y. Davis of Dallas, relating to the suspension of the public school student for engaging in conduct against an employee or volunteer of the school district, for the Committee of Public Education, HB 2920 by Y. Davis of Dallas, relating to the appointment of special or temporary justice of the peace, or for the Committee of Judiciary and Civil Jurisprudence, HB 2921 by Y. Davis of Dallas, relating to the confidentiality of certain information collected by certain local governments and airport governing boards, or for the Committee on Transportation, HB 2922 by Spiller, relating to the use of artificial intelligence and utilization of work conducted for the health benefit plans, or for the Committee on Insurance, HB 2923 by Tupper relating to the jurisdiction of the Public Utility Commission of the taxes over certain rates of water or sewer service changed by municipality, refer to the Committee of Natural Resources, HB 2924 by Simmons relating to Medicaid reimbursement for certain costs incurred by a chronically ill Medicaid recipient who as a child receives hospital care, refer to the Subcommittee on Disease Prevention and Women and Children's Health, HB 2925 by Simmons relating to the grant program for hospitals to assist with certain costs incurred by families or chronically ill children receiving hospital care, for the Subcommittee on Disease Prevention and Women's Health, HB 2926 by Tupper relating to the text of the ballot propositions of the issuance of the debt obligation, for the Committee on Pensions, Investments, and Financial Services, HB 2927 by Campos relating to the increase in criminal penalty for the peace officer who fails to report the suspected abuse, neglect, or exploitation of an elderly person or a person with a disability, or for the Committee of Human Services, HB 2928 by Campos relating to the regulation of referral agencies for assisted living facilities, or for the Committee on Human Services, HB 2929 by Diallo relating to the training of a peace officer interacting with persons with autism spectrum disorder for the Committee of Homeland Security, Public Safety, and Veterans Affairs. HB 2930 by Money relating to the eligibility of a land for appraisal for ad valorem tax purposes of a qualified open space land for the Subcommittee on Property Tax Appraisals. HB 2931 by Lambert relating to the exemption of the renewal agreement for agricultural and timber tax exemption registration numbers issued or held by a person who is at least 65 years of age for the Committee on Ways and Means. HB 2932 by Dutton relating to the creation of a commission to review certain laws into the state to restrict those rights or activities of the person convicted of a felony offense and to make certain recommendations regarding the laws for the Committee on Corrections. HB 2933 by Dutton relating to the restoration of civil rights to the criminal defendant for the Committee on Corrections. HB 2934 by Dutton relating to the charging instrument and the prosecution of the offense of the arrest refer the Committee on Criminal Jurisprudence. HB 2935 by Dutton relating to the creation of the Julia Hester House State Park refer the Committee on Culture, Recreation, and Tourism. HB 2936 by Dutton relating to the asset forfeiture proceedings under the Code of Criminal Procedure for the Committee on Criminal Jurisprudence. HB 2937 by Anchia relating to the areas of operation of housing finance corporations or for the Committee on Intergovernmental Affairs. HB 2938 by Gonzalez of El Paso relating to the attendant care services under Medicaid and program administered by the Health and Human Service Commission, including establishment of minimum base wage for certain personnel attendants providing those services and allowing family members to provide those services or for the Committee on Human Services. HB 2939 by Jens of Dallas relating to the expansion and eligibility for Medicaid of certain individuals under the Federal Patient Protection and Affordable Care Act or for the Committee on Appropriations. HB 2940 by Jens of Dallas relating to the award of good conduct of certain inmates or for the Committee on Corrections. HB 2941 by Meza relating to the restrictions of certain contributions and lobbyist compensation by persons appointed by public office by the governor or for the Committee on State Affairs. HB 2942 by Allen relating to the information on classes or programs required to be completed by an inmate released on parole or for the Committee on Corrections. HB 2943 by Allen relating to the post-release housing of inmates released on parole or mandatory supervision for the Committee on Corrections. HB 2944 by Leo Wilson relating to the redesignation of State Highway 87 for a hurricane evacuation route or for the Committee on Transportation. HB 2945 by Leo Wilson relating to the patient stay report submitted by freestanding emergency medical care facilities or for the Committee on Public Health. HB 2946 by Oliverson relating to the provision of nutrition support services to Medicaid recipients in lieu of other state Medicaid plan services on the report of the health outcomes of providing those services or for the Committee on Human Services. AB 2947 by McLaughlin relating to truancy, increasing criminal penalty, or for the Subcommittee on Juvenile Justice. AB 2948 by Lowe relating to the cessation of tolls of toll project entities and circumstances, or for the Subcommittee on Transportation Funding. AB 2949 by Curry relating to Celebrate Veterans Week in public schools, or for the Committee on Public Education. AB 2950 by Bolzano relating to the jurisdiction in the second multi-county court of the law composition juvenile boards of Bees, Live Oak, and McMullen counties, or for the Committee on Judiciary and Civil Jurisprudence. HJR 131 by Simmons proposing a constitutional amendment requiring the state to expand eligibility for Medicaid to certain individuals under the Federal Patient Protection and Affordable Care Act, or for the Committee on Appropriations. HJR 132 by Simmons proposing constitutional amendment limiting the extraterritorial criminal jurisdiction of the state, or for the Committee on State Affairs. HJR 133 by Turner proposing constitutional amendment authorizing the legislature to provide an exemption from ad valorem taxation on all or part of the market value of the residential homestead of the surviving spouse of the veteran who died as a result of the condition or the disease that was presumed under federal law to have been service-connected, or for the Committee on Ways and Means. HJR 134 by Harless, we're proposing a constitutional amendment authorizing the legislature to legalize wagering in the state in certain sporting events, or for the Committee on State Affairs. HJR 135 by Anchia proposing constitutional amendment establishing Texas Redistricting Commission to redistrict the Texas legislature and Texas congressional districts and revisiting procedures for redistricting, or for the Committee on Redistricting. HJR 136 by Richardson proposing a constitutional amendment protecting private schools from state and local regulations, or for the Committee on Public Education. HJR 137 by Guerin proposing a constitutional amendment to be submitted by the voters of Texas for approval, authorizing the legislature to strictly regulate and authorize casino gaming and sports wagering by general law, and establish certain requirements for such laws, imposition of a tax on casino gaming and sports wagering revenue, requiring licensing of casino gaming and sports wagering operation, and requiring a license application fees, or for the Committee on State Affairs. HJR 138 by Alders proposing constitutional amendment prohibiting the imposition of a carbon tax, or for the Committee on Ways and Means. HJR 139 by Shaheen proposing constitutional amendment to abolish the state lottery, for the Committee on Licensing and Administrative Procedures. HJR 140 by Holt proposing constitutional amendment regarding the membership of the State Commission on Judiciary Conduct and the authority of the Commission of the Texas Supreme Court to more effectively sanction judges and justices for judicial conduct, or for the Committee of Judiciary and Civil Jurisprudence. HJR 141 by Leo Wilson proposing constitutional amendment abolishing the automatic resignation of certain municipal, county, or district office holders if they become candidates for another office, or for the Committee on State Affairs. HJR 142 by Money relating to proposing a constitutional amendment to abolish ad valorem taxes, or for the Committee on Ways and Means. HJR 143 43 by Lowe, proposing a constitutional amendment to abolish the state lottery for the Committee on Licensing and Administrative Procedures. H.J.R. 144 by Morales and Malabrik, proposing a constitutional amendment to authorize the creation of the Regional Mobility Authority by local law for the Committee on Transportation. H.J.R. 145 by Metcalf, proposing a constitutional amendment exempting tangible personal property from ad valorem taxation for the Committee on Ways and Means. H.J.R. 146 by Alders, proposing a constitutional amendment authorizing a legislative action at any time on the 13th day of the regular session of the legislature for the Committee on State Affairs. H.J.R. 147 by Bojani, proposing a constitutional amendment to authorize the legislative provider for limitation on the maximum appraised value for the ad valorem tax purposes of the residential real property leased to an elderly person for the Subcommittee on Property Tax Appraisals. H.J.R. 148 by Cook, proposing constitutional amendment authorizing the legislature to enact the laws providing for a court of punishment to certain individuals of serving a term of imprisonment and refer the Committee on Criminal Jurisprudence. H.J.R. 149 by Lowe, proposing constitutional amendment authorizing an impeached officer to continue in office pending the impeachment trial for the Committee on State Affairs. H.J.R. 150 by Lowe, proposing constitutional amendment specifying the authority of the Attorney General to prosecute a criminal offense prescribed by the laws of the state for the Committee on State Affairs. H.C.R. 107 by Metcalf, designating the Texas Almanac as the State Book of Texas for the Committee on Culture, Recreation, and Tourism. H.C.R. 108 by Guillen, urging the U.S. Department of Commerce to maintain tomato suspension agreement for the Subcommittee on International Relations. HCR 109 by Harris Double, authorizing the State Preservation Board to approve the construction of the replica of the National Life Monument at the State Capitol Complex, or for the Committee on Culture, Recreation, and Tourism. HCR 110 by Metcalf, relating to the Texas Facility Commissions, name the Transit Amenity Center of 107 14th Street in the Capitol Complex the lead on transit amenity in honor of Dustin Dart, for the Committee on State Affairs. HCR 111 by Lopez Cameron, designating Combs as the official beat capital of Texas for a 10-year period ending in 2035 for the Committee on Culture, Recreation, and Tourism. HCR 112 by Perez of El Paso, urging Congress to allow U.S. citizens with real ID cards as the travel documents for arriving at land or seaports of entry, or for the Subcommittee on State and Federal Relations. HCR 113 by Gonzales of El Paso, designating El Paso as the official boot capital for Texas for a 10-year period ending in 2035, refer to the Committee on Culture, Recreation, and Tourism. HCR 114 by Perez of Harris, urging the Houston City Council to construct a memorial pedestrian bridge in honor of Sergio Ivan Rodriguez, refer to the Committee on Transportations. HCR 115 by Riddell, directing the Governor of the Texas to award the Texas Legislative Medal of Honor to U.S. Army Sergeant Raymond Garcia Gutierrez, refer to the Subcommittee on Defense and Veterans Affairs. H.R. 559 by Buckley, expressing support for the protection of the islanders residing in Texas, affirming their rights afforded by the Compacts of Free Association, recognizing March 18, 2025 as COVID Day in Texas, refer to the Subcommittee on State Federal Relations. H.R. 560 by Alders, amending the House rules by repealing the special rules requiring face masks, refer to the Committee on House Administration. The following resolutions are being referred to the Committee on Local and Consent Calendars. H.R. 527 by Cunningham, H.R. 528 by Lauterbach, H.R. 529 by Munoz, H.R. 531 by Schaffner, H.R. 532 by Garcia of Bayer. The following resolutions by Meyer being referred to the Committee on Local and Consent Calendars, H.R. 533 through H.R. 535 and H.R. 546. The following resolutions by Morales and Malafric are being referred to the Committee of Local and Consent Calendars, H.R. 537 and H.R. 557. H.R. 538 by Lozano, H.R. 539 by Schofield, H.R. 540 by Lozano, H.R. 541 by Fairley, H.R. 542 by Schaffner, H.R. 543 by Lowe, H.R. 544 by Button, H.R. 545 by Alders, H.R. 547 by Oliverson, H.R. 548 by Hernandez, H.R. 549 by Hernandez, H.R. 550 by Johnson, H.R. 551 by Kerwin, H.R. 552 by Lopez Cameron, H.R. 553 by Martinez, H.R. 554 by Martinez, H.R. 555 by Paul, H.R. 556 by Guillen, and H.R. 558 by Schofield.
Pursuant to a motion previously adopted, the House stands adjourned until 10 a.m. Thursday.